Hey guys, glad you're all here again at the Champions League this morning. That shows you've got some intent and some desire to achieve. I'm down at Mega Agent Camp, so I'm doing this by video obviously, and Grant's going to be helping you through the rest of the day. So let's take it on and take on some new challenges for the day. We're talking this week, and I hope you had a great time last week spending some time figuring out your big why and focusing on that mission. You'll spend some more time talking about that today in your group. What I want to focus on that you're going to be working on this week is thinking about the fact of, are you living life by design or are you living life by default? Most of us live life by default. By default, of course. So if we're thinking of changing and we want to change our life and our circumstances and our relationships, then the key is other people we can't change. Circumstances we often can't change. There's only one person we can change. And guess who that is? Right, you. We're the only one. Henry David Thoreau said, things do not change, we change. And that's really critical to understand. So champions are people who are willing to do what regular players aren't willing to do. And a lot of it involves changing themselves and improving themselves. They practice putting for hours if they're a professional golfer. They shoot thousands of jump shots. They practice the violin over and over and over for hours on end. They read volumes in their field of endeavor. Every day, they intentionally prepare for massive success. They live their life by design, not by default. And that's critical for us to learn and understand. You know, it's been said that it takes 10,000 hours of practice to master anything. How much time have you put in to mastering those things that are important to you in your life, especially your business skills? Great question to start with then. Let's just take it one step at a time. Let's take a small step at a time. You know, if you improve every week by 1%, at the end of a year, you're 50% better and more experienced and wiser than you were to begin the year. So just think of it in small steps. How do you start your day? Okay, think about that for a minute. How do you start your day? Is it by design or by default? As you read this week's chapter, you'll see some ideas I throw out for people who are employed or people who are self-employed. You can either be intentional about starting your day or you can be unintentional, and the results you get will be whether you choose to live by design or by default. So, do you get up as late as possible in order to start your day? Do you kind of pitter around the house and the office and check email and whatever instead of getting going intentionally and designing your day for success? This is critical. How you start the day will determine how you finish the day. So how's that working for you so far? Are you achieving the goals and things you want out of your business, out of your life, by the way you've started your day? Or do you need to make some changes? Well, don't be a victim. The only thing you can change is you. The only person you can change is you. So I'm hoping that pattern began to change last week as you hopefully were intentional about working through every single day the assignments that are in the workbook. Were you? Did you? Well, if not, why not get started on that this week? Okay? Reverend Martin Luther King said, if a man hasn't discovered something that he will die for, he isn't fit to live. That's why your big why is important. And a big part of figuring out your big why and being intentional about life is how you start your day. And getting going, getting energized by that big why so you can get on track for accomplishing what you want to accomplish in your day. You know I had this thought for a while, and you may have the same thing as well. You know, I don't need to change. I don't need to live some big life. I don't need to excel. I just gotta, take care of the things that come along and sort of see what happens. And, life's okay. Well, are you settling for mediocrity? Or are you pushing yourself to excel? And maybe it's not even for your sake. That's what's critical about understanding your big why, which you need to spend time every morning being intentional and figuring out. Why? Because somebody needs you to be better and bigger than you are. Who is it? Somebody in your life needs you to be bigger and better who you are. It might be your spouse, might be your kids, might be a significant other, might be an organization, might be somebody at your church, might be your faith, might be your God. Who needs you to be bigger than you are, to put more out, to contribute more, to bring more to the table, to cause other people to want to excel and push themselves. That's what you need to figure out. That's why it's important you start every day being intentional, because somebody out there needs you to be bigger than you are. All of us are wired to pursue God-given excellence. And by doing that, we inspire and encourage others to do the same thing. David Joseph Schwartz said this: think little goals and expect little achievements. Think big goals and win big success. I want you to get intentional. I want you to decide that you're going to live life by design, not by default. And it starts with changing yourself. And one of those big changes is going to be how you begin your day. All right? Invest yourself today. Practice hard in this time that Grant's going to lead you through. And let's begin to make a difference and make changes starting today. See you next week.